Hey, morning guys. It's Saturday the 21st right now, and it's officially the very first day of winter. So I was gonna give you guys kind of like this mid-month December update, and I'll just kind of talk briefly about what I'm doing, maybe kind of check out some of the activities on the plants. Um, I have sprayed copper once. I'll probably spray copper once again once we get into our very, like right before we get into our rainy season, or like right after a very heavy rainstorm. But I already made the decision that this year I'm gonna just let the blooms do what it has to do. If anything sets, it was set. If nothing sets to, like, fungus or powdery mildew, that's okay too. I think after this year, I'm really gonna like the shape and size of my tree, and it's gonna get to that size I want. And then after that, I'll be spraying to try to make sure I get fruit set going forward. But I'm gonna give it one more year of just like vegetative growth. That's my plan on this. And for any of you guys, if you guys are trying to get some fruit set right now, you could start spraying. I would spray anyway, just to kind of make sure there's not any too much lingering fungal issue once you do get into like a better weather where the flowers can hold. There's no like too much spores of any kind of fungus that's lying around. But for me, during this time of year when the flowering, it's very hard to get fruit set. You could probably be spraying for like a couple months, and the flowers still ain't gonna get destroyed by wind or rain, all the mildew that we get each morning. So it takes so much effort to try to save it that I don't really even do it. My recommendation to you guys, if you don't want to be spraying for the next, 3 months or so trying to get fruit set, is whatever this first bloom is, just let it bloom. When you feel like you were getting into better weather, or like more towards the end or beginning of spring, just break off those bloom panicles and let it bloom for the second time. And that second bloom, do your spraying and everything, and try to get fruit set on it. But this first bloom that's coming out right now, we're getting into a winter. It's most likely not gonna make it, and it's probably not even gonna make it if you do any kind of weekly spraying for the next 2-3 months. All the blooms at this point, they push out, and they push out very, very slowly. It takes such a long time from pushing that bloom to a full kind of size bloom panicle, and when it opens, that it's not really worth the time. But that's my recommendation to you guys. But again, experiment with whatever you guys want to, how do you want to experiment in your yard. All this kind of differs, changes depending on where you're at. I'm near the coast. It might be a bit different for you guys. That's more inland. But let's check out the trees. So again, everything's pushing. Some of it, you can kind of obviously tell that they're blooms, but some of them looks like there's gonna be mixed. Some of them looks vegetative, but my thoughts is that it's probably gonna be mixed blooms. Here's the Super Julie on this one. I don't know what this browning is. Not sure if it's sunburn, but it's looking a lot better than just like a month ago when it was just kind of purely yellow. This beginning to a bit more green coming back into the leaf. So let's see, this is one graft that is right here. It's a good sized branch graft, but I always kind of been fearing that it might just die because of the weird coloring and yellowing on it compared to the rest of the grass, which is like purely green, and it's getting all the same nutrients as the rest of the other varieties. Okay. Let's see what else. Here's a sweetheart that just finished flushing. Nope, I thought this was vegetation, but you can kind of see those little bloom between the leaves. So this is a mixed bloom. This is sweetheart. So I'm guessing all of these that's coming out is going to end up being mixed bloom, even though they look pretty vegetative. All right, here's on to the next tree. I got some graphs to take. This was Brian's amazing peach cobbler seedling. The graft took. It was a pretty late graft. This was grafted in the middle of October. Yep. And this is, let's see, this is got some brown chimea that's pushing. Definitely gonna be blooms. Yep. That's the brown chimea right there. Here's the Valkyrie. So lots of kind of blooms and mixed blooms that's coming out right now. Here's a Maha Chinook. Some more that's pushing right here. Everything's like swelling up. It's just, you know, everything's swelling up. Some of it seems like the vegetative by how pointy the growth is, but then they end up being mixed bloom. Here's one blue panicle that's like in full bloom right there, like not full bloom, but like a full bloom panicle, full size bloom panicle. This is a diamond. Lots of my non-Dakmai strains has bloomed since like last month, and this was one that started pushing out early. This is diamond, which is a non-Dakmai seedling hybrid, yeah. And I got non-Dakmai Mun, non-Dakmai Fawn. They all are blooming right now. So take a look at this. This is sweet tart. I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being mixed blooms. Looks kind of vegetative. Looks heavily vegetative, but probably a bit of mixed bloom. Here is the Nam Dakmai. You can see the panicles, all those panicles right there. Those are all Nam Dakmai Mun. And it's been pushing since last month. And here's an Angie. Angie has been kind of seemed like it sets fruit on the first bloom. So the thing about Angie, seems like it might be pretty disease resistant, but it's slow growing, and I would say the fruit's not as sweet as the other varieties, even though it's maturing, like, you know, in like late summer and stuff. Because the Angies I had have been when you compare it to like just like a carry or something, it's not as good as a carry, but you know, who knows. It's slow growing though. That's Angie right there. Here's a Duncan. Here's a Duncan that's pushing. Don't mind this bloom, but it's a Duncan. So I mean, my guess is like everything's gonna probably be sending out some sort of bloom by the end of this month. Here's a Saint Talone. Right there. Mixed blooms right there. Giselle right here. You can see it budding. Here's a Ceci Love, also sending out mixed blooms. Okay, what else have we got here? Not much activity on all these, but some of these they held on to some nubbins and stuff this year. Here's a couple of Super Julie fruits. They don't seem ready yet, but I feel like they might be ready in another month or so. Looking forward to trying that Super Julie. Unfortunately, this tree is not looking very good. One of those where I failed at grafting and shaping and everything on it. It's a very kind of poor looking tree. So here is ST Maui. ST Maui doesn't seem, well, this one's pushing out some buds there. It seems to be swelling a little bit, but not quite pushing anything. This is Ceci Love again, another Ceci Love. That one's definitely pushing. Some of my grass that I'm not sure is going to make it or not make it. This one's a lemon zest, the real lemon zest. If you follow me, you know that I had my own mislabeled with lemon zest for quite some time. So lemon zest, Lancetilla. Don't know if this guy's going to make it. This is another Maha. The leaves kind of got damaged and everything. Not sure it's gonna make it. And here's another graft. Okay, on to the next tree. This one is pushing. You would guess that this is vegetation, but I am sure once it's done, it's gonna be like a mix of vegetation and blooms. So this one is Dupree Saigon. Let's see. Here's my California mint. At least the graft on this one is really flushing flowers. My other ones haven't. So okay, here's a Golden Queen, Cat Saigon, Jin Huang, all those various names for it. And pushing. Okay, here is next tree. This one is cac. And look at cac. All the cacs I have, the buds is swelling like crazy, like that. It's pushing. It looks vegetative, but it can't be at this time of the year. So I'm guessing it's gonna be mixed blooms, like heavily vegetated with like mixed blooms on it. Look at the buds pushing on it. Cac. Very, very aggressive growing variety. Look at this. You can even see the sap kind of swelling out of these tips from the buds that's swelling up. Here's a cotton candy. Cotton candy. I thought this is gonna make it. This is a Florigon right here. Have yet to get fruits off this Florigon, and it looks like it's sending out. Like from a glass you would say this is vegetative, but kind of seen enough to say that it's probably going to end up being mixed blooms. Here's a couple of little gem fruits here. Couple little gem fruits. This one has a lot of the kind of wax still on it, so I'm guessing it has a long way to get to before getting ripe. Here is a Juliet. I've been doing a bend test on this for like the last month, like once a week, and it's just not coming off. It's still rock hard, so I'm gonna just let it be, because I really don't want to taste this, and I do not want to take the chance of picking this too early, because I am grafting a lot of the Juliet on older trees, and I do really need to figure out what the taste is like. But yeah, I just tried the bend test on this just like yesterday, and it still didn't come off. So, but it looking very yellow, so you know, maybe soon. I picked off the last 2 grams that I had on here. Picked off the last 2 grams. So here's a gram on here. I did some major trimming. I removed some of the larger branches. I just didn't like how it was kind of whipping down from the weight of the fruits and stuff, so I just kind of removed it. This is gram. Some more peach cobbler right here. Alright, so that is a mid-month update. Till next time, guys.